oh, it says Jason Momoa is Braven. Well, I guess we know what's going on here.
All right, guys, here we are for another trailer review. Today we're going to be reviewing the trailer for the movie Braven.
Braven with Jason Momoa. So I was like, is that Jason Momoa? And then I looked down and the
prominently displayed directly above the title.
The fucking title is Jason Momoa is Braven. So he's like a native of some place and he's fighting back against the man? What do we think? What's going on here?
I don't know. I was trying to read for what time period it takes place, and now that I see a still, he's in a coat in front of a house.
Yeah,
but in the beginning, I'm like, well, it's like a twill kind of pants, and his shirt is that like, could survive in any decade.
No, and in any climate, seemingly, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing a Hawaiian native. I think he's playing like an Eskimo or something.
Yeah, it looks like It looks like he's got some sort of large mountain behind him.
Something fucking weird. Yeah, I feel like this is probably... Do you remember the movie The Watcher or whatever?
The Watcher. That sounds familiar.
Keanu Reeves, I want to say.
Okay.
Or a movie that's not The Watcher that I never saw as well that had Keanu Reeves in it. So there was a movie that was made with Keanu Reeves years before The Matrix came out. And once The Matrix came out and his career had that big spike, The Watcher like suddenly came out. And it was supposed to be horrible and I never saw it. And there was a controversy because he was like, they just took old footage like the movie was dead and they fucking slapped it together because he couldn't contest it or whatever. So it was like The Matrix and then within a year it was like The Watcher, and they made the cover look like it's him crouching and it's dark, but the movie's not like that or something like that. It was the whole thing.
Science.
So I wonder if now that he's Aquaman and he's out doing stuff, if this is some other movie like that, because it says Jason Momoa is the only reason to watch this is because it has Jason Momoa.
You can see it's recent enough because he has the ink that he has now. Did he get
that for Justice League or whatever?
Well, they didn't get it for Justice League, but he's had
Did he get that
that's
while
in the
Justice League
last
was
4 years or something.
Okay.
Is that tattoo?
So that couldn't be because he would have already been on Game of Thrones. He would have already been that dude. All right, so I'm now gonna amend that to distill it down to the only reason to watch this movie is because Jason Momoa was in it.
Well, in general, that's why I watch movies with him. I like him. I think he's a good actor. He brings a lot to the table.
But they don't all say the name of your lead actor in the title card of the poster.
No, but that's a creative choice based on just the design guy of the thing. I won't say that affects anything. Let's check out the trailer and see what we get from here. I couldn't be happier about anything I've just seen.
Oh, okay.
I think this looks great.
I'm not enthusiastic.
I was smiling more and more as things went on during that.
Okay.
I love the characters in this. So you have the dude who was in, goddamn, I can't think of it. Well, aside from Avatar, he was in that dinosaur fucking show.
He was in Avatar.
That was the biggest budget flop ever. He was in...
Wait, the dinosaur show?
Yeah, what's the fuck is the guy? The guy who was like, don't breathe. That same guy, he was like a general in some we went back in time to go back to where the world was a little better.
I'm like, don't breathe that dinosaurs? I should have seen that.
No. So then, then Jason Momoa, you have this great twist of the daughter was hiding in the back of the car, the drugs in the cabin. This looks like what a Steven Seagal action movie wants to be.
Okay, I would totally agree with all those statements, but not the tone of what you're saying. Because
I think it looks wonderful.
I don't think it's a great twist that she's in the thing. I think it's the most boring, predictable thing in the world or whatever. You used the phrase "great twist."
Okay, I may have said it, but
know.
I don't mean a twist in the same sense of a Twilight Zone ending where
No,
they
no.
were people all along.
No,
I mean a great factor they have to deal with now.
I'm not saying you thought it was a mind fuck and this brilliant thing. I'm saying, but quite the contrary. This is the most basic, boring thing. Well, I guess she was there, so now the stakes are raised, and we have to fucking fight. And I like stuff where they're using all these weird weapons or whatever, but I'm not clear about is he supposed to be is he Native American? Is that how this works?
For the purposes of this movie, he is a Native American.
Is that weird in 2018? Is that how things work? Is he supposed to he's throwing axes and weird shit like that? Was there any setup that he should be doing this? What is he? Why is he able to do these things? What's going on?
Well, when you look at him, I assume he can do almost anything.
He has visual credibility for these things, but other than that, I don't see any
based on his previous roles, I almost
based on his training for other movies.
No, but what I mean is based on previous roles that he's played, I naturally assume because what you're getting, what you cast is that this is we own this. This is on our Navajo land or whatever.
Yeah,
blah
seems
blah.
like
Help
some
me close
sort of
down my
reservation
cabin.
thing or whatever,
The dad, based on his previous roles, is a former Marine, and I will bet money that he is a former Marine and he is like a survivalist in
no, he's clearly like a hunter or something. Like he was coming home. Okay, so I was like, like veteran or like military person because his like daughter's like, Dad, like she's like surprised to see him like home, or he's not usually there, or he's coming back, has like a bag and all that business. So I was like, maybe he's out for a long time, or he's doing things, or he just has the kind of job or whatever. Yeah, I would like bet those things too, or hope for those things or whatever. But I don't think they really set stuff up, or was it in the mumbling dialogue in the beginning?
No, I don't think it was actually said, but there was enough. The cues, the visual cues were enough for me in this one where I didn't bother with. Like in other movies when it's a no-name actor, where like when it's like the cool guy, when it's like the cool guy, but he is actually just a nerd. But in the movie, he's a cool guy, and they don't play up. And he's the coolest guy in town. Like when I look at him, I'm like, well, he's a fucking tree. He's holding an axe. He looks vaguely a Native American. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
He's obviously a cool-looking dude, but we would shit on a trailer for not showing us like a military medal or like a fucking he's wearing like a camouflage cap or something, or there's like a folded-up flag, like we would shit on some other trailer for not actually setting it up.
Would be, I think the difference here is that like it is his cabin versus in every other movie they'd be like this is just John, like the guy in the train one, like the commuter. He's just a random guy. There's no setup that says he has any skills whatsoever. In this, it's like, well, he knows how to use an axe? It's his axe. It's in his house. Of course he knows how to use an axe.
They are implying things about their ability to do stuff. They throw in the line about the grandpa being able to shoot a gun or whatever. They obviously, like, I'm able to infer that they're hunters or that they hang out in the woods a lot and that they're used to this kind of thing. But that's not a reason why you can take out an entire, crack commando unit with hand-to-hand weaponry or whatever.
That would be more, my question would be, what are they exactly? Because
I don't know.
The guns that the bad guys possess seem to be like such high tier.
It's crazy.
Almost borderline futuristic looking for like your average drug dealer. That would be my question. That I wonder if they're actually a crack commando unit, or if they are just no, we're schmucks. We have guns.
They seem like paramilitary and have like fucking iridescent scopes on their assault rifles. And he's like, I like the Home Alone shit of like we're gonna heat this thing up and grab the guy with it, or we're gonna like trick people and all that stuff. When
I first saw it, I thought it was a poker. And I thought he was gonna like I'm gonna stab him with this burning hot thing.
It was like a circular thing.
And then when I saw it was actually like the log clamp. I was like, holy! Can you just picture that?
It's horrible
because that clamp is probably like would just hurt like a bitch if someone grabbed you with it, but it's fucking on fire. It's like making the stepmother dance with the fucking metal sandals. Dance, bitch!
I just like your thing of that would hurt anyway, something like that. No, I mean, okay, if this didn't look like it was as well done or have like real actors in it, I would have zero interest in it at all.
Is this theatrical? Did it say in the beginning?
I have no idea.
It looks theatrical. This looks like on par with the action quality and film of like The Marine or any of those standard action whatever movies of the day.
No, I like Jason Momoa. I like what's his name, Captain Jarhead Man or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
I used to know. He was up for Cable, so I fucking knew his name and shit, right? Yeah. But I forget it now. Sam Worthington. That's the other guy.
That's nice.
No, so I like this. This is all fine, but during the trailer, I think if we weren't. I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that some of this is ridiculous.
I hear exactly what you're saying, but all the things where we would usually shit on it, things are answered by the fact that it's no, we got A-list actors, and the camera actually looks good, and I believe the characters could actually do the things they're doing. While in almost every movie when we totally tear it apart and shit on it, it's well, they didn't explain it. It's because they had to. When you see a string being an idiot throwing an axe, you're how the fuck could he do that? But all the things that would normally require a lengthy explanation don't, because it's on screen where I'm he can do that obviously. This guy can do that obviously.
I was going to finish the sentence earlier like an hour ago now, but that's a better way to put it, is that it lacks justification, but the justification's on the screen or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So now I feel bad for shitting on every other movie for just assuming that they had the same magical justification that you can only get by having an actor who's been in other things where I already associate him with violence and it already makes sense. Now I feel weird.
Well, no, if you have a bad, again, the script in this probably very generic, but it's that they have the ability to actually display these things visually, so it makes it look good. Your average movie needs to do certain things and jump through hoops, and I think a lot of directors don't. They go, this is how this is done. It's like, well, it's not done that way for you.
For you, because you suck.
Yes.
And now I feel really bad about the whole world. That just makes me feel worse about everything and not better about this. That makes me feel like, goddamn. But
that's the whole throw in 2 lines of dialogue thing that I'm always yelling about things. That's the cheap man's doing. But because if you don't need to, you obviously don't need to.
Yeah, but that's totally subjective. Like if you showed this to someone who just woke up out of a coma, they'd be like, "Is that the new Steven Seagal? Is that the guy making boring action movies now?" That would be like your reaction.
My point would be if I've never seen any of these actors before, like I might not infer that white hair McSoldier has any military training. I might just think that he is like, the dad, whatever. There's the line, "Can you shoot?" And he says yes. I'd be like, okay. Yeah. But if I look at Jason Momoa, every step along the way makes me believe that man is physically capable to do whatever you put on the screen.
I might think that he was a wrestler or something. I might be like,
even that would be fine.
Is he like a wrestler trying to make a movie? That's sad. I hope it doesn't have too much dialogue, because there's no like acting in this. He just says like, hiding this thing, and then she goes, okay, right?
I would argue that he has great face acting.
Yes, but there's barely any of that. Like there's like so little going on.
It's that little thing where like he does the eyebrow raised, like almost Rock-esque. Yeah, I'm like yes. You look at the guy and you're like, that's a leading man.
He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful, charming man.
But you watch other trailers and you go, who is the leading man? There's no character I care about.
I can't tell who the leading man is. Right.
Yes. Yeah. And I think like while this is a standard generic action movie, it checks all the boxes that are needed for that.
Okay. I would say
and it's not trying to be anything more than that, which is a lot of other movies have the problem with.
I would say, in fact, that this is like maxed out. This is this is doing everything like perfectly that it has to do for its thing.
Definitely.
But that you've maxed out and you've gotten to like this level, or like you've made like a dish where I don't like olives. I don't like this, but this is the best version of Puntanesca you could have ever made. And I'm like, great, fucking pass that down the thing. I don't want this one.
I think it's a tad unrealistic that he drives the quad off the cliff. Why not just take a sharp turn around a tree and just rope that bitch up and kill him?
And I don't know how realistic we're supposed to be here. It starts out pretty grounded and seems gritty and like real. Like the truck just flips because it snowed and they just hide the stuff there because they found it. And then he's like, just so happens to be saying, yeah, we're gonna go up this weekend and I don't know. I almost said winterize. I'm like, dude, winterize? It's already wintered as fuck. But like, it's always winter here in this land. So like, this is all just coming together fine. This is all like whatever.
I think winterizing a cabin is a little different than winterizing a house, where you're not draining. Yeah, you burn it down. You're not draining the pipes to make sure they don't freeze. I don't think it has any plumbing, but you would be like, battening down the hatches, put the fluid down on the thing, something comes down the chimney. Do
Yeah, maybe it's becoming more winter or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, well, you're not going to be going there anymore.
Yeah, you're like shutting it down.
Yeah,
or you're like starting it up. Maybe like when they got there, it was like very shut down and like not inactive or something, and they were like, oh, this is an abandoned cabin. We'll fucking start it up. Maybe while Jason Momoa was in the military, the cabin's gone into like disrepair, and now that he's back from his tour of killing terrorists with axes, he's they want to like get the cabin fired up again for the next hunting season.
Let's real quick. We skipped right over the one part where the guy bashes another human's head into the table till he's dead. I imagine.
I think we can agree on that point being very strange.
That seemed very strange because he was in public. There was an open facility.
Yep.
If anything is what you want to do while taking care of a delicate drug operation.
Oh yeah, we don't want to draw any attention to ourselves.
As much attention to yourself as possible while publicly killing a man.
Yeah. And he's like, I just found out that shit's about to get real. We're going to have to do some squirrely shit. I hope no one finds out about anything that's going on here. By the way, hey, check this out. Boom, 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 and killing him. Yeah,
that part struck me as very strange, and I do want to see what the next part of that scene is.
I feel
is it just horrified patrons and he drives away? Does he kill everyone in the room?
I don't think he kills that guy. Maybe he just wants to punish him for his incompetence. But they don't develop that thug, main thug anymore. So like, there's no right.
Was this a really short trailer? Was it like under 2 minutes? Like,
do you think the person who cut the trailer?
It's such there's so much
What
happening.
does that say?
So
2
quick.
minutes?
2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 minutes 5 seconds.
No, but like I feel like whoever cut the trailer planned maybe to develop that character more in the trailer for us as like the antagonist, but you really just see him in two other shots.
I wouldn't even think about it at all.
That's weird.
I think that it has everything it needs. Cause like you're directing this directly to an action demographic, and they don't care about that.
No.
They're just like, how many cool things happen?
I don't mean really develop it as a character. I mean like we have to establish that these people are not going to like. Okay, they do later. Is that the same guy who says like the minute
get the bag, kill them all?
I
think so.
Like the minute you have the bag, take them out. Okay, if that's the same guy, then that's all I'm talking about. Is like you want to establish. Yeah,
it is the same guy.
Okay, I didn't notice because he's wearing a hat, and hat's confusing.
Well, you know, it's cold.
No, but like that's what I mean by develop the character is like establish that this person is unhinged, so that when Jason Momoa has to like be bleeding and fight him later one-on-one because he's the final boss of this video game, that he that we've established that he will just beat you to death or whatever. Okay, and this all seems fine. I would watch this.
I'm giving this a super thumbs up. I actually want to see
thing.
this. This is the one I think of the day that I want to see the most.
This looks so boring to me for some reason. I think I'm finally getting old, and I just want to watch things that have meaning or something like that.
I feel this will be very action packed, and
it will be
some great lines.
It'll be cool, but this is not enough for me anymore. I'm sorry.
I've been fighting in my head like, who is the next Arnold? Who is the next Rock?
I think it's Jason Momoa.
And like the Rock was all we really had, and I was like, no, I think Jason Momoa's got the chops. I think he could do it.
I don't know if we have Arnolds anymore. That's a whole different discussion. We'll talk about.
Well, The Rock is the Arnold of now.
Well, but I guess Arnold was charismatic in his own way.
Yeah.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't fucking talk, and that's what was so interesting about him or whatever. And he was just this physical like appearance guy, and he kind of grew into still not being able to fucking talk or whatever. This could be a whole 2-hour discussion about like how things work. I don't know if Hollywood's the same as it was before, because The Rock is such like a fucking like like he's chiseled out of pure charisma
like a god,
from his stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's call it here. Split decision.
All right, guys, let us know in the comments below how wrong Lee is. We'll see you next time. Don't die in a fire.